would you go ahead and introduce your court?
So from my left, I have my first runner-up, Haley Rivers. I have my third runner-up, Emma Swain. My second runner-up, Emily Peterson. My fourth runner-up, Maddie Zola. And our Miss Congeniality, Maya Latarski.
Well, welcome, girls. Emma, I guess I'll ask you the question. First of all, not a question. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
So happy birthday. I know that today you were showing your swine today, so you've had a busy day, and about 2.5 hours earlier you weren't quite looking like this, right?
No.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, most of you have been in 4-H for 9 or 10 years. Emma, talk a little bit about some of the things that you feel like it's benefited you greatly from being a 4-H member, especially for 10 years.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of things that have definitely benefited me throughout my 10 years in 4-H, but two of the bigger ones I would say is one, my communication skills. When you're on the fairgrounds or in your barns, you make new friends. You have the public asking you questions about your animals. So just being able to sit here with you today and talking to you is definitely one of the most important skills I've learned in 4-H. And the other one would just be time management skills. It's not something you just apply when you're doing your projects, but something you can take with you through school and everything like that. So it's helped me be prepared. You know, you have to be ready for your class. You have to plan out your time to get your animals ready and get into the show ring and just get all your projects turned in on time. So I would say those would be the two biggest things that have benefited me throughout my 10 years in 4-H.
Sounds good. Let's go ahead. Why don't you go next? Say your name too, so everybody else.
Yeah, so I'm Maddie Zola. Like Emma introduced me, I'm the fourth runner-up. The biggest thing for me, definitely being a 10-year member, showing horses has been responsibility. And I think that we can all say that. All of us who have shown livestock especially, the responsibility is greatest when we have to wash our animals, feed them, clean up after them, even when we don't want to, but it's made me better for it, definitely.
Hello, I'm Maya, Miss Congeniality. So 4-H for me has been amazing. It has been an amazing experience. I mean, meeting all these wonderful ladies has just brought me out of my comfort zone, and it's just being out here today is absolutely amazing, and I absolutely love meeting new people. So that has definitely been one of my favorite parts of 4-H.
Well, great. Go ahead and pass it down. Yeah, go to the end here. Have you got enough cord? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay. I'm Katie Rivers, and I'm your first runner-up. I think also like communication skills and hard work are definitely things that I've learned. Also, like humility definitely is something that you learn. So you learn to work hard for kind of what you get in a way when it comes to your projects. And so, it's like definitely like showing my dog, like no matter how hard I worked with him, sometimes I would just get in the ring and he just wouldn't listen to me. And so you just learn to be humble and just to, you know, always try your best and just work hard in everything you do.
Now, girls, Emily, let's take it a little bit different because you have been 1 year at college, okay? So all these great things the first 4 girls have said, you and Emma have got to practice in real life because you're away from home and you're on your own. So let's talk a little bit about what it's like and what it's really helped you do going out in this world and going to college.
Yeah, so as mentioned before, I'm Emily Peterson and I'm a second runner-up. And I'm at Purdue studying horticulture landscape design. So 4-H has started, first off with just my major. I never would have known like horticulture was a major you could get into, but I took floriculture and 4-H. So that's kind of my base of what I'm studying. So 4-H definitely impacted me in that way. But also in just other ways such as like communication and time management, especially in Ford College, and leadership. I'm a Purdue ambassador at Purdue, so junior leaders definitely prepare very well for that. So it's helped in my first year at Purdue, and I'm excited to go back for my second year.
Yeah, so my name is Emma Swain, and I'm also a third runner-up. I'm studying ag business and general education at Purdue, and I'll be a sophomore this fall. I think Purdue has helped me, not Purdue, 4-H, It taught me to learn to fail and to try again the next year, and I think that's been an important skill that I know kind of to reevaluate what went wrong and to try again the next time, the next test, the next class, and to try harder and to improve myself. And I definitely learned that through 4-H, whether just trying a project and then not working out and wanting to try again the next year, or just with each animal that I had, just being able to go back the next year and improve on my skills each time. That's definitely helped me at Purdue.
Well, good. Well, thank you very much. But the one last question, and Emma, if you want to take this, the question I have is kind of talk about, and maybe somebody else can chime in on this. You know, you've done this for 10 years in 4-H. Kind of take us through you with animals, you know, and everything, what a typical day is for you, because you're not normally getting to sleep in at 9, 10, 11 o'clock on a Saturday like many teenage people get to do. You have a lot of structure in your life and everything. So talk about a typical weekday during school, and then maybe one of you talk about what your weekends are like.
Yeah, so definitely raising animals of our own. It's very different from just living a typical like teenage life. So in the mornings, I'll wake up before school and I'll head straight out to the barn. So I'm usually out there no later than 6 in the mornings because we feed at like every 12 hours. So usually at 6 in the morning, I'll be out in the barn to feed. I'll scoop some of the poop out of the pens and stuff like that. And then I'll head inside, get ready for school. I'll complete my day at school, and then when I get home, I'll go out in the barn, make sure everything's going okay. They all have plenty of water and everything. And then after that, you know, and I'll have like FFA or something like that, and I'll come home and go back out to the barn to feed and walk my animals again. So it's definitely different. It's, you know, there's times where I can't attend every football game, or I can't go to every sporting event that my friend participates in. But it's definitely worth it because my dad always says, like, when you're hungry for dinner, your pigs are hungry too. So it's able to keep me motivated and remember that they're just like us. So that helps me, and just really being able to care for them throughout the year. It's an awesome feeling to come out here and then show off your hard work that you put into your projects.
Any other approach gals that maybe you want to comment on about the same thing?
Yeah, so my animals were not at my house, and so I would always drive out to wherever I needed to feed my animals, and that was about a 15-minute drive. So I would drive out there and feed them and take care of them. And then in the summer, 4-H was my job, so I never got that summer job experience. So now that I do have an internship, it's kind of weird going 8 to 5 every day and sitting at a desk and not working on projects and being out with animals. I think it's been a hard adjustment coming out of 4-H and not having something to do all the time. But coming back, being on the Queen Square has been worth it to come back to the fair and help with projects.
Sounds great. Emma, now what happens? You were crowned queen here at the Hamilton County 4-H. Is there anything after this, or what do you do after the fair is over?
Yeah, so I have a lot of opportunities serving as Miss Hamilton County. So after the 4-H fair, I'll get to speak at a couple banquets just about my time as Miss Hamilton County and how I've learned throughout my times with my court. And I also will be headed in August to the State Fair for Queen's Day on Sunday, August 11th. So we'll get to all the queens, all 92 of us will parade around the State Fairgrounds. And then in January, I'll actually have the opportunity to compete for Miss Indiana State Fair.
Wow, that's great. Now, the one thing about it is, you know, this is a little bit different comfort zone for you gals. So maybe one of you, besides the three that's spoken a little bit, will make a comment about what it's been like to be, you know, part of the court, as far as, you know, when you're here before and you show. You don't have to speak to everybody. You don't have to talk to everybody. You just do your projects and that. But this has taken up a lot of time this week. So kind of talk about that and the experience of it.
Yeah, definitely. So especially just for me, like doing the whole pageant was a challenge in itself. I think that was a step outside really everyone's comfort level. I mean, we're not used to getting up on stage and talking in front of people about ourselves. It's usually something bigger than ourselves. So that was a challenge for me. And then just being on the fairgrounds, I think that it's not much of a challenge, but it's more of a friendly experience with everyone here. It's something that's, I guess I wasn't a part of before. We would all come here, we would show our animals, we would talk to the people in our barn, and then it was kind of, you'd leave. And then, so I think that the Queen Pageant has really helped to like bring us all together, because we all show different animals, we all do different projects, not all of us are in livestock, and I think that's really special.
Sounds great, sounds great. Go ahead.
I just want to add in because I'm like out of 4-H, so it's definitely been a great thing. I showed 3 different species in 4-H and took like 10 different indoor projects, so I was so busy. As Emma mentioned, I didn't have like a quote-unquote summer job, so 4-H was kind of my summer job. And being out of 4-H has definitely been different, but I'm very excited to be a part of the Queen's Court and just to be able to participate in it, because it kind of brought me back into 4-H. I think next year is going to be weird. It's kind of a good transition year from showing all of my livestock, and then going to be able to go to all the events. It's really cool to see the fair in a different way.
Let's talk a little bit about, because so many people talk about they think it's the 4-H fair is all about livestock and that type. Talk about you other gals talk about some of the projects that you do that doesn't deal with livestock at all. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I actually don't do livestock, so dog is like the closest thing I've gotten to an animal on the grounds, but there's like so many opportunities for indoor projects that help you in careers, and we have like public speaking, creative writing, cake baking that help you like in the home. And I think there's just so many opportunities, and there's so many projects that I think most kids just don't explore and know about. And I think that that's like really sad that we just don't get it out in the community, because I think most kids think they can't do 4-H because they don't have animals and they don't have livestock. But there's just so many things that you can learn and do and explore at our fair. And we just need to keep pushing it into the public just to educate them more on the opportunities that we have.
Thank you, thank you. Any other comments anybody wants to make? Well, I appreciate you guys taking time out. I want to, your busy schedule. I know today you had a little bit of a lull here because the swine got done early, but you still got, you're a little over halfway, so you've done a great job. I've talked to you. You're present all over this 4-H ground and a great representative for Hamilton County, all 6 of you. And I from Hamilton County TV, appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and coming in and talking to us. And I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Cut, Jim.
Hi, I'm JP Etchison, and I'm from Jackson Hot Shots.
Well, welcome, JP. Let's talk a little bit about being a 10-year member of the Jackson Hot Shots. Tell us a little bit about, some of your experiences. But first of all, tell us a little bit about what kind of projects you've done over the last 10 years.
I've had a pretty wide range of projects, ranging from alfalfa, photography, travelogue, health, just among various things, doing lots of different projects. But I would say I think my favorite would probably be photography or alfalfa. I enjoyed the alfalfa part because it's part of our family farm. We grow it. I, cut the alfalfa and bale it with my brothers and family. And then also photography was a lot of fun, just going out and taking the pictures of nature around us.
Well, talk a little bit what your plans are in the future, because I know you're getting ready to go away to college. So tell us where you're going to college and possibly what you're majoring in.
Well, this fall I'll be attending the Hamilton Luger School at IU. I'll be studying international studies and law. Really like the political side of things and government work, so hopefully I might have a future in that.
Well, thank you, JP, for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming in here tonight and talking with us, and best of luck in your 10th year as mayor.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Lily Canaday, and I'm from the Friends Forever 4-H Club.
Lily, let's talk a little bit about, I know I've talked to you several times before, and last year interviewed you. Let's talk a little bit about some of the projects you've been involved in the 10 years that you've been in 4-H.
Of course, yeah. Over the 10 years of 4-H, I've completed 78 projects ranging from shooting sports to health, veterinary science, pocket pets, public speaking, and mostly shooting sports and also junior leaders.
What really do you like the best about being a 4-H member?
Being a 4-H member is awesome, and it's the best because you can explore so many different things. You can explore different interests and projects. You can explore different types of people because it's such a diverse program. And you can even explore different locations on going through different trips. I get to go to Washington, D.C. next week. I've been to the Indiana State Fair. I've been on almost all of the 4-H trips. So the thing I like most about 4-H is just the opportunity to explore and to really make your best better by becoming a well-rounded person.
Well, looking into the future a little bit, Lily, what are some of the things that you're hoping to do in your future?
Well, next year I'll be taking a gap year, and I hope to become a spokesperson for the National Rifle Association, and I've become connected with them through 4-H and shooting sports mostly. And so I'll become an instructor next year, work on networking, and use my public speaking and debate experience to try to see if I can get my foot in there without needing a college education. But if I do need a college education, I'll pursue business and communications.
All right, Lily, thank you, and you have a good 4-H fair.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Emma Higginbotham, and I am a 10-year 4-H member, and I'm a part of the Sheridan Ag 4-H Club.
Emma, let's talk a little bit about 4-H and some of the projects you've been involved with.
All right, so to start out a little bit about my past 10 years in 4-H, I've been very blessed with the opportunity to join this wonderful organization. And throughout my 10 years, I've done a wide variety of projects, anything from foods and floriculture all the way out to a lot of the big livestock animals. I've been able to show a lot of diverse animals, and it's just been an overall great experience.
Emma, you know, over the years, I've done this many times before, interviewing 10-year leaders. Talk a little bit about, you know, what it's really taught you in life that you probably never even thought about before, now that the 10 years are over.
Definitely. So the 4-H motto is to make the best better, and that's definitely proven itself true throughout the 10 years of my 4-H career. Anywhere from hard work and responsibility, things that it really, you take so much away from this, and not only hard work and responsibility, but time management and taking an extra step to care for not only animals, but to focus on school and grades, and also really be so busy throughout the 4-H fair with so many different things.
Now, what is your future in home here?
So my future plans include me attending Franklin College. It's a private school about an hour south from here, and I will be dual majoring in special and elementary education with a minor in public relations.
Well, that sounds great, and I appreciate you coming in here. I know this is a busy time for you with only a little over 2 weeks to the fair.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming by and talking with me, and I look forward to seeing you at the fair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Katie Anderson, and I am from the Progressive Farmers 4-H Club.
Katie, let's talk a little bit about your 10 years in 4-H and some of the projects you've...
Okay, so this will be my 10th year in food preparation and swine, and I have 4 years in sheep, and then this is my first year participating in the meat goats and dairy goats project.
Let's talk a little, let's talk a little bit about, you know, now that the 10 years have gone by, and you know, those first few years, you know, this is all fun, this is great, but what have you really taken away from the 10 years that you've been a member of 4-H?
This organization has really taught me time management with all of the different projects that I do partake in, and also just leadership skills. So the Swine Project does like a Pee-wee showmanship, and I've partook in helping kids with that. So it just helped me like learn leadership for younger kids and just to be a role model for them.
Well, that's great. Now, what are your plans in the future?
My plans are to attend Purdue University and study ag education.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yep.
What with ag education, you plan on being a teacher?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, that's really great, and best of luck this year at the fair.
Thank you.
And I'm sure I'll see you. Right?
Hello, my name is Luke Herr, and I'm from Progressive Farmers.
Hi, my name's Jesse Kolb, and I'm from Sheridan Ag.
All right, Luke, talk a little bit about some of the projects you've done in the last 10 years in 4-H.
So in the last 10 years of 4-H, my projects have been primarily livestock based. I did pigs, sheep, and cattle my first year, and then for the past 10 years I've done sheep and cattle continuously. I also did shooting sports a couple of years, but I was pretty involved in them. I've learned a lot from taking care of the livestock and also being a major part in practicing and really high responsibility to that point.
Jesse, same question.
My 10 years in 4-H, I participated in beef cattle, swine, hay, corn, soybeans, tractor maintenance, and junior leaders. And from these projects, a lot like Luke was saying, I've gained a lot of responsibility and learned how to make good animals better just through trial and error in my 10 years in 4-H. And I feel like I've met a lot of good people that are really going to help me along in my life, and are just good friends that I'll have forever.
Now, do you two go to separate schools?
Yes, we do.
One goes to Heights and one went to Sheridan. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's the one thing that really, let's talk a little bit about that since both of you are up here, because probably you got to know each other through 4-H of being out here.
Yeah, Jesse and I used to run around the fairgrounds with each other when we were a lot younger, our first couple of years, and then my sister had been in 4-H before I was, so I was acquainted with the county fair and all that, and with 4-H itself. But yeah, we've been buddies all throughout our 10 years and been pretty close. We met through the cattle barn and bonded that way.
Now, talk a little bit about it. You know, this is everyone so far, the first 6 people that I've interviewed, okay, talk about time management, and kind of explain that a little bit, because let's go through, especially with you, with animals, both of you, and you can each take, you know, part of this question, but talk a little bit about when you get your animal and when you start, and how difficult it is to juggle your time, okay? You talk about, Luke, talk a little bit about the different things of getting the animal and everything, and Jesse, you talk about a little bit about the hours you have to put in from when you get up in the morning till when you lay your head down at night.
So I primarily raise most of my livestock, and I'm able to keep them from weaning age on through. With cattle, I usually start around state fair time for the next year. So it comes around August, I start breaking calves, start getting them ready, start getting them in a routine, start feeding them, working their hair. It's a lot of time management in that issue, but it's nice to start at the end of the summer so you get a good start on those cattle. And also when it comes to sheep, with my other main project, I start them. They're able to be birthed in the beginning of the year, so it comes January, February when they're born of that year for 4-H, and then I get them in, get them ready, get them learned how to brace, and it's mainly just getting the livestock to know you and getting you to know the livestock.
Jesse, you want to take the question that I asked you about your daily routine through, basically you really get rocking and rolling in January, is that correct, guys? February, somewhere around there, and what it's like juggling school and livestock or any activities you're in.
Yeah, so During the school year, it's a lot of hours. Like you're at school all day. And then Luke and I were both athletes, so we'd go to our practices, and then it'd be straight to the barn. And you work there for a few hours each night just to get everything done, all the feeding and all the rinsing and stuff you have to do. And then you go home and eat dinner and do it all again the next day. And then over the summer is kind of more the same. We both kind of have our own jobs that we do, so we get up early in the morning and go to work, and then after that is to the barn, and a lot of late nights and early mornings that we spend out there. But in the end, I think all the time spent's worth it for sure.
Luke, future ahead of you after the 4-H fair and everything, what are you planning on doing?
So after the 4-H fair, I'll be wrapping everything up. I've got a final last hoorah of my showing career. I'll be going to the Simmental Breeders' Sweepstakes with my cattle, and then after that week, I'll get prepared for football at Taylor University. I'm going to Taylor, it's a 4-year private school up in Upland, Indiana. I'll be majoring in engineering with a concentration in electrical. My focus is, and my hope is, past the college experience, is to return to agriculture, give my influence and kind of give back to agriculture what it's given to me and what 4-H program has taught me. I first want to start with building, probably building aspects for different seed companies, or probably making my way back to the livestock industry itself too. Also, when it comes to livestock that I've taken away from 4-H, I plan to continue to build my father's herd and also my grandfather's flock too, of sheep, and really kind of build our animal quality up and stay with the livestock industry too.
After the county fair, I'll be taking my hogs to the state fair to exhibit them there. Then that'll kind of be my last showing experience unless I continue to do open shows later on. Then I'll be heading to Purdue University to study agricultural economics. Then after college, a lot like Luke was saying, I just want to stay in the ag industry, and I don't think I want to be a farmer like my dad and grandpa were, but I think I want to stay in the ag industry and do something with maybe sales or something like that. Then I also want to continue raising livestock for 4-H, and then also market animals for sure.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. You did a very good job, and I wish you both best of luck coming up here fair, because I know this is something you've worked for basically your whole entire 4-H career. This is it. This is the 10th year, and I appreciate you. And I may be coming to see both of you, and we'll sit down and chat out there at the tent and talk a little bit about how things are going during the fair. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ross Hagan. I'm from Progressive Farmers Club.
Ross, tell me a little bit about 4 years, the 10 years that you've been here in 4-H. Some of the projects that you've taken on through that period of time.
For 10 years, it's been quite an experience for me. Main projects that include me for livestock have been beef cattle, poultry. I did sheep for my first year. Still remember that. Very first year I did sheep. But I did some shooting sports in the beginning, so I've done a lot of projects, and I can say they've all impacted me in positive ways in my life, and hopefully they keep on impacting me throughout my whole entire life.
So, that was one of the things that I was going to talk a little bit about was you mentioning about, when you first start, you want to do all these things, and it's all fun, and family helps you a little bit and all that stuff. But as you get older, you learn a lot of life lessons.
Oh, really. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, some of the lessons you've learned and some of the things that has really helped you in your schooling. Really.
Definitely. I could say my main project I've always been really intrigued on has been beef cattle. I've taken a lot of pride in what I do there. A lot of time, a lot of hours. I can say being able to balance that, because I played 3 sports in high school, to be able to balance school, sports, and my beef cattle project all in one. I can say that's maybe a better person, but just the beef cattle in general, you learn so much from other people when you talk around the barn, like the 4-H fair. throughout even other shows, the state fair. That's one thing I think 4-H gives you a unique option about. You get to kind of in touch with other people, so you get to learn new ways and get their ideas and their input on things. So I think that's a great thing about that project. So I think that's how it's impacted me.
You know, Ross, one of the things that you talked about was sports, and I know the school district that you come from and that area takes sports very, very seriously.
Yes.
But you also take farming very, very seriously.
Yeah.
So talk about, like, you know, how much of a commitment it is to everything, because I know that you have to feed those animals. You have to get up in the morning. You have to work with them.
Oh, yeah.
You have to go to school. You have to practice afterwards. And in some cases, I bet you Coach Hal probably has you come in there early in the morning and do practicing. So talk about that time management piece, because I think that's a huge, huge piece.
I can remember a lot of times the cold winter days, was January, February months. You would come out early in the morning to feed the cattle. You would go to school and you'd go to practice, and you'd come out of practice and it's just dark as can be. And that's still going out. You had to go out to the barn and get your work done. I think it was a process that you had to love. You had to love that process, and you had to love kind of the energy that you had to put into it, because there's so much energy and so much time you had to put into it. And if you didn't love to do all that, if you didn't like to be able to like kind of balance things between the sports, school, and cattle, then it would just would be fun. But for me, that was fun to be able to do it all. That's always what I've always kind of liked about it, to be able to.
Now, obviously, what motivated you the most, or one person that you probably, or two people that you looked up to that just give you that drive and always was there for you to help you through these times? Or was most of it just on your own, that you wanted to show people what you could accomplish?
You know, I thought it was watching the success of others, to see where they came from. And it's just people around me, this casual. I mean, even Luke Herr and Jesse Kolb, to watch how they work, because you want to be like your peers. You want to fit in with your peers, and you want to be a role model myself. That's one thing I always thought. When I get older and when I grow up, I want to be a role model to the young ones. So I thought I better start now. So I got to be able to like kind of look at myself, and I like to hold myself to a high expectation. So, but people have impacted me. I can say my 4-H'er, Kathy Young. She was a great role model for me. There are a lot of people around the cattle barn, like I've talked about, and a lot of people around 4-H. It's just not just one person. I think it's just someone, or you just get in a conversation with someone. They can have a lasting impact on you for a long time. You'll remember that conversation you had, and I think that's a great part about 4-H in general, just the amount of people that affect you.
Yeah, because the one thing about 4-H, and if you go through the complete process of the 10 years, you run across a lot of hardworking people.
Oh, you do.
I mean, and it's just amazing. You think, I could do that, because I can juggle that time.
Yeah, I'd like to say that, because, that's another thing. Time management is something that I think you learn so much through 10 years. You learn to manage your time and, like, prioritize so well. I mean, it's something you just don't pick up. You just don't pick that up. I think 4-H is a great opportunity. If you're a young kid, or even if you're starting out, it's just a great way to learn and be able to figure yourself out and how you got to manage time, because it's a life skill you'll need forever. It really is.
Ross, I appreciate it. You did a great job, and I look forward to seeing you around the fair.
Thank you.
My name's Peyton Luring, and I'm in Mud Soccers.
Peyton, welcome here today. We're talking to 10-year members. Let's talk a little bit about your journey over the last 10 years in 4-H. Talk about some of the projects and some of the things you felt like that you've accomplished here.
Well, it's been a long one. 10 years is a long time. But I've been in Mud Soccers. I started out when I was 9. And the projects, I've done essentially the same projects throughout my 10 years. I've done construction sets, and aerospace have been really my main projects for much of my 10 years. So that's mainly the projects I've done. And I've picked up like a few other projects, like I picked up modeling and photography within the last 3 years or so, and I've been in fine arts for about 5.
Well, Peyton, you are a very important part of the 4-H here in Hamilton County, but you've kind of taken it outside of Hamilton County.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the things, the places you've been, and some of the experiences that you've had that you probably wouldn't have got had you not been in 4-H.
Yeah, definitely. Like 4-H has really offered me. I almost think I've done more stuff statewide than countywide. I went to Purdue in 2016 and 2017 with 4-H Academy to take their computer science workshop and all that. That was a great experience. I got to really see what Purdue's computer science department was really like. Last summer, I got to go to Washington, D.C. with Citizenship Washington Focus. It was an amazing experience. I got to see the monuments and all that, and just met people both from Indiana and also statewide. And it was really interesting just to see how different Indiana 4-H is compared to 4-H in other states,
Peyton, I don't want to take a long time, but give us a few examples of how you feel Indiana 4-H is different than maybe some of the other states.
Oh, just like the scale of it, and a lot of, county fairs, it's not 4-H focused, it's more ride or, amusement focused, where with Indiana 4-H, it really seems like the focus is a lot more on the people that are participating in 4-H, and it's just a lot bigger and a lot more involved, than other states.
So, Kathleen was congratulating you. Tell us a little bit, you had some good news or something?
Yes, barely 2 weeks ago, I just got back from State Junior Leader Conference, and I'm on the council for that trip, so part of my job for next year is to go back and make sure the conference runs smoothly for the next batch of people that go through it,
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
What, after 4-H, what are some of your future plans or something that you would really like to do in life?
Well, I hope to go to Purdue sometime pretty soon and study computer science, mainly inspired by the workshops I took, a few years ago.
So do you think that most of the things like, those that you have taken through 4-H, the computer science courses up at Purdue, did that kind of make you decide what you'd like to do in life? Or?
They did, yeah. I already sort of had an interest in computers, but really 4-H showed me where that interest can be taken, in the job field and just as a career in general,
Well, I appreciate it, Peyton, and I wish you the best of luck because fair's coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And, I'll be looking forward to seeing you around the fair. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Danny Burton, and I'm a member of the Westfield City Slickers 4-H Club.
Danny, let's talk a little bit about the fair and 4-H and the last 10 years, some of the projects that you've worked on over the 10 years.
All right. I've done many projects through 4-H. I've taken many to state fair as well. A big one for me is the health project. I've taken that one to state fair many times, done pretty well on it. Another one I've done for a lot of years is shooting sports. That one just gives you a good opportunity to learn about guns and learn safety habits and good habits to use throughout your life.
Danny, listen, I know that you're a big part of junior leaders, and we haven't this year talked much with the 10-year members about junior leaders. Can you talk to us a little bit about junior leaders and how you become a junior leader and what are some of the responsibilities? Because are you an officer?
I'm the president, actually.
I thought you were president.
Yeah.
I didn't want to come out and say that about you, but can you talk a little bit about junior leaders and some of the responsibilities you'll have that you have before the fair and during the fair?
Oh, of course. 4-H or junior leaders is a great opportunity to meet new people, learn responsibilities, learn life lessons. It is time consuming though. You got to show up to the meetings. Some of the responsibilities for pre-fair is like check-in, setup, and even before that, just helping out in the community. Like we did a food drive not too long ago actually, and we got a lot of people there for that. So that was really nice. It just helps out. It looks good for 4-H too. Responsibilities for like the actual fair during the fair. You're supposed to work the shack. It's not that much. I mean, if you choose to take on more responsibilities, they're offered to you. But for most of it, just a few hours working in the shack. And then after fair, help a little bit for cleanup and checkout. It's pretty simple. It's not too much, but it is kind of time consuming.
Now, Danny, one of the things that now with you being the president, you're kind of responsible for making sure that everybody gets there at the right time, which is, you know, with all the events everyone has going on, it's sometimes people lose track of time.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty close with my club members because, like, throughout the meetings, throughout all the different activities we do, we form a nice bond with each other. Because, I mean, I like to think that I'm outgoing and I like to think that I'm including. So a lot of the kids out there really do look up to me. And I see that, which makes me like feel really good and feel really good about myself. But like it also makes me want to help them more. It wants to make me reach out to them. So like if they do miss something, I can either help them like get there, or I can either find somebody to take their shift for them.
Yeah, because I think that, you know, as I've seen through 10-year members, you know, in the early days you looked up to certain 10-year members. You just clicked. You looked up to 10-year members and things like that, and now you are one, and you're taking that leadership responsibility to teach the next generation. Really.
Yeah. I mean, I recommend it as well. I mean, it's a great opportunity to grow in yourself and help others grow. So if you have an opportunity to take leadership roles, jump for it.
What is the future after 4-H for you?
As of now, I'm going into the Air National Guard. I'm already in it. And I'm also going to be attending Purdue Lafayette campus.
Okay, good.
So I have pretty busy plans coming up after this.
Yeah. But that's what you like, and that's basically a lot of that's you learned right here at 4-H.
I learned so many skills here that I can use every day in my future life.
Right?
Yep, exactly.
Danny, I appreciate you taking time out, and I'm sure that during the fair, you know, if I'm interviewing people, just stop by the tent and we'll talk and stuff, and some of the things that are going on, some of the exciting things, because this is a great fair.
I'll have a lot to say, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Danny.
You're on. That was
How are you? Good. Good to see you. Oh no. I'm gonna get with you on that gate one of these days. Okay.
6 minutes before the start of the ice cream contest. 6 minutes.
Did you hear him? 6 minutes. You can't hear it. I couldn't hear it.
6 minutes.
keep us busy at least. Probably so.
I'm glad I went ahead and had a little.
Well, I might have to go get some.
No, because I couldn't hear it.
Ron is very sweet.
What is
Kathy. We have all.
Well, welcome to the ice cream
I'm having surgery August 7th.
contest, the 2019 ice cream contest. I'm not sure if we can get everybody's attention at the far left.
Listen.
You guys hear him at all?
Don't do the wrong party down there. Girl or boy?
Can you all hear?
What she looks like. That's dirty. No, it needs to be moved out. We can't hear it.
Can you all hear?
No. I don't want to walk.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Welcome to the 2019 ice cream contest. We really appreciate you all joining us this evening. Tonight, we're going to have a break-off that's going to start in just a few minutes. Just very quickly, we're going to have the rules 40 minutes once we say go for you to prepare the ice cream. After that occurs, we're going to be coming to your table and we'll be collecting.
You just want a picture of you sitting there? Leane's butt in the way?
And it'll be Judge Stapleton right here in front of the stand.
Getting the sun.
Very nicely. And we'll have a judging contest there for each of the different flavors of ice cream, starting right after the completion. So I'll try to give you a warning at about 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in. Happy to do it. 10-minute warning as we're going through the process.
All of you do. Put you up for a bunch of good news.
So, please tell them the rules.
We'll give them away. No, I would come to Schwartz State.
Right now, the time is 6:29 to make it official. We're going to begin everybody at 6:30 to start this. And I'm going to use my official iPhone as the timekeeper here. So, in 1 minute, we're going to have the official kickoff.
Did you guys hear that?
Okay, let's begin. It's starting right now.
Okay,
You have
starting.
40 minutes now.
Starting. All right. What, honey? Okay? All okay? All okay?
Can you hear me? That's not a very far range. Hey, Cindy, can you hear me? You can hear me. You can hear me. Okay. Just they can hear me.
You guys hear? We cannot hear you. We cannot hear.
Lenny, can you hear me? You can hear me. Perfect. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I did want to first start off by thanking our sponsors that are helping us with this event. We have Hamilton County 4-H Council. We have Hamilton County Farm Bureau, Hamilton County Tourism, Sports Bait and Tackle, and Bill Root. Without them, we could not have this contest and have all the nice prizes that we're going to have here at the end. As Bill said earlier, we will be cranking for 40 minutes. Bill's got it on his timer, and so as soon as we get closer, you'll be making a, oh, here. 33 minutes to go, 33 minutes.
I took him out this guy out of it's over 450. Because I got a little welder, but it ain't big enough for that. How about that? You don't want that rear end. No.
Okay, we're at 25 minutes. 25 minutes. Gotta go back.
Okay, the time now is 14 minutes. 14 minutes.
Thank you. You feel great, though? I do. I feel like I do. You were up like 5:30 this morning. It makes it for such a long day. Recharge the batteries. After this whole thing's over, after the fair and all that stuff's over, we just go and get season out. Get our batteries this is second trip, yeah. 2 times a day, pretty much. That's
fresh oysters. We were sitting in there eating, and I said, so is ice cream contest about? Yeah. Didn't they have it at the end of that barn? Yeah. How are you? The trees go actually going to How much time?
9 minutes.
Oh, 9 minutes. 9 minutes.
You guys starve all day?
Yeah,
had you.
Fasting, huh?
That's right.
I saw your son this morning over at Ginger.
Always eat.
He was eating.
Before we get to tasting the ice cream, we have our two contestants from the Queen pageant here, or winners, I guess I should say, that are here to introduce themselves and help hand out the prizes. Hi everyone, I'm Gary Rivers, and I'm your first runner-up. Okay. This is my 10th year in 4-H, and this year I did photography, arts and crafts, and child development. Very good. I'll be going back in the fall to start my sophomore year. Very good. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. You're going to love tasting the ice cream. Best job on the fair.
So that's how we don't get the pink.
Make sure there's enough for the judges to at least test it. I know.
Oh, now we're going to have to disqualify.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I do.
Right here, be sure that it can drain. Because we just keep floating on, so it doesn't get launched into the container. Be sure it can drain. Be sure that it can drain. We're at 1 minute, 1 minute. Get ready to do the ice
Hey, man. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Good to see you. Al's being down. Big crowds out there. Okay. Hit me up. Probably a browser there that day. So hit me up. I'll be out there. I'll look for you. We'll do
I'll
some more.
probably be 2 or 3 others.
We'll be doing some Facebook stuff. So.
I love that. That's good.
I'll see you later.
Good stuff. See you. Comes, guys.
You're number 1?
Kathy.
You want some spoons for you to get started on number 6? Haven't seen any money switching hands yet, so. pretty good. Very good. You'll remember. It's a point, so.
What was Addie's? Okay, well, I'm sorry. Addie's went. These are dots. They won't say they have to hold it.
That's good stuff right there. The special bowls, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cancel out. So we're 14.
I love it. Here, just do like this.
You guys are not me like this.
I've never seen this.
Oh, like the presentation.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, shoot.
Are your taste buds getting frozen?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm We'll review. Yeah, we're going to finish this up. I told you it was last week when you felt
buddy? I'm good.
Once again, as we get ready to announce our winners, John Peterson, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I want to thank our sponsors, Hamilton County 4-H Council, Hamilton County Farm Bureau, Hamilton County Tourism, Sports, Bait, and Tackle, and Bill Root. We thank them very much. Once again, we couldn't do all this without their help. As we get ready, okay, well, we'll start with the adult hand crank division. Wait, are we supposed to be? Our champion was the Southern Butter Pecan by Jeff and Elizabeth Perobacek. Years of service here. Okay, our second place winner is Old Fashioned Butter Pecan by Dana and Phil Moore. Congratulations. Okay, first.
You might be right in front of the guy's camera. No, you're good. She went.
Congratulations. Next, we're going to our Youth Electric. On our Youth Electric, I'm going to have the winners come over here. The champion was Addison McMillan with Pineapple Whip. And then I want the other four girls, where are they? Oh, right here. Come up here. We've got a prize for each one of you. So everybody gets a reward in the youth group so that you'll continue coming back.
Everybody gets there.
Yes, thank you.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, where are they at?
Where are they located?
Yeah, where are they at?
This is our market.
Okay. And then the last group here is our Adult Electric. Our first place winner was Blueberry Cheesecake. Brett Burrow and Robbie Bray.
How'd you get up there?
Come get your prize. Our second place was Dottie and Chuck McMillan with Toasted Coconut.
How you doing? I am over here by Brett Marine. Where are you?
Good, how are you?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, so I've done that. All right. So next then we have our reserve grand champion overall is Addison McMillan with her Pineapple Whip. And our overall grand champion was Brett Burrow